Thanks for your friendships and your viewership. I'm disgusting. Toothpaste on my face. Nasty scars from shaving. But morally, I don't feel as disgusting as I might. And I've written a letter to my family, to my brother and sister, specifically. And I wish it could become akin to the letter from a Birmingham County jail that Martin Luther King wrote. Now, its chances of doing that are slim to none. My family is not open to my missives, which is why I'm going to read the letter to you. But I do so mournfully. Right now, I just watched Omari Osei Wimfong, and his suggestion that people, when they go to the dinner table with their family members tonight, and everybody's talking about the arrests and the protests and all of this, that you get prepared, and if somebody is dismissive of the Black Lives Matter situation, then you have to recognize that's a racist in your family and that it's worth being ready to suggest other mental options for that person. So I'm listening to him and I'm like, it doesn't take anything for a family to be racist. Like it takes nothing. It takes silence. It's not hard. You don't have to have somebody, and it's always an uncle, isn't it? But you don't have to have somebody that says, oh, who cares that black people are getting killed, or who cares about the police violence. You don't need that. Sometimes silence is enough. Sometimes it's just the inability for us to move forward philosophically. I know that seems bizarre, but it's true. And the fact that everyone has an N-word neuron somewhere in there, and that some of us associate that word with incredible violence that is justified, that is racist without us doing anything. It's built up. That's the kind of systemic racism that I confront. I studied psychology. I didn't study sociology, which is a major difference. Psychologically, the N-word exists. Sociologically, you'd be hard-pressed to find it. Even when somebody is referencing it, they try to do so cleverly by talking about spelling or, elision to the end with the nigga. Anyway, here's the letter I wrote. Hi, hope everyone is still well. Tell me if there's anything I can do to help you or anyone you care about. This is my brother and sister. I wanted to write half brother, half sister, but I know you both won't like it and even read about it. I don't like offending you. I think that mistaken view is understandable. I do agree with Richard Dawkins about how taking offense is pointless, but I also know that there is vile stuff out there that is worth being offended by. I wish I could write you about a cure for coronavirus or MS or mental health. I have been cautious in my reasoning and expectations. It just still strikes me as incontrovertible that I am mistaken about the prevalence that I am not mistaken. I mistakenly missed a knot at a crucial time during my letter. So let's call it the not Birmingham County Jail letter. But it just still strikes me as incontrovertible that I am mistaken about the prevalence or trajectory of the N-word. It is not going away. It demolishes people's egos and ability to combat racism. I don't have an excuse to be offensive. Please stop thinking of me that way. It makes me irate. It is terrible that offending people is the only way forward, but everything I know clearly points towards that. There just isn't any hope for the damage that has been done to be healed without reckoning with this hateful, awful term. I have been careful to avoid being racist. I view that as deplorable and unacceptable. I have not discovered an excuse to be racist, but instead a cure to some forms of it. Fixing the N-word can cure, in capital, some of the ills that beset us. Now more than ever, I am racked by stress and frustration, and I know that your minds are already made up. But how else can we begin to dissolve racism without taking a stance against the definition of this stupid word? How else? Name one way in which you realistically can fix this problem. I can't. The first step in humanizing your N-word is recognizing that the word and thought are inexcusable and unsalvageable. Why can't we take that step together and really try to do something right here? I'm stuck with this awful chore. I will have to change my name again against all of my recent advantages and lucky breaks. I don't want to do it alone, and I don't know who else that can even commiserate about this type of burden. Can any of you show me any way whatsoever that would reduce racism even a little? Education would be great, but it is a specific thing that must be taught. This is an opportunity to do that. Please don't leave me hanging here. Admit that I am at the very least have a point. I am convinced that I am a nigger. Help me make that less of a death sentence. Love, David. I do not like the name David. It's far too common. I want the name fuck, crazy nigger, faggotard. And so my family thinks I'm an idiot, and that letter will not succeed in changing any of their minds. But I read it to you because I believe that it's true. Not just that I'm a nigger, but that... and everybody's trying so hard. But that racism is a very complicated opponent to fight. And it simply cannot be neglected. This fight is important. And an important way, a method that we can fight it, is by broadcasting stuff that brings them out of the trenches and into the light of day. That every racist is an N-word is a thought that has never been promulgated, ever. It's new. It's a new way to do this. And all of the old ways have failed. How can anyone deny that, looking at the world right now? Oh my goodness. This is the life that I live and lead. I'm trying my hardest, guys. Thank you so much for your friendship and viewership. Stick around. We'll try and do more in the future. Goodbye.